Welcome back to the class. Again we start now the third point, conscience and superego. What is the difference between? How do we understand what is conscience, what is superego? We will be discussing in this class. The term conscience has many meanings. The term conscience has many meanings. When conscience is understood, in psychological sense, it is frequently identified with Freudian superego, Freudian superego. Freud describes superego as the definition of superego according to Freud, in inverted commas, the long period of childhood which the growing human being lives, the long period of childhood during which the growing human being lives in dependence on his or her parents, leaves behind it a precipitate, precipitate, leaves behind it a precipitate, meaning hasty decision. Precipitate means sudden decision, which forms within his ego a special agency in which this parental influence is prolonged, Conscience understood in this sense is essentially related to feelings of moral approval or disapproval. Related to feelings of moral approval or disapproval. In this sense, conscience is the result of a process. Conscience is the result of a process of psychological conditioning. Psychological conditioning. Conscience in this sense, is shaped largely by non-rational factors. And it is frequently found to condemn what is not wrong, or approve what is not right. Condemn what is not wrong and to approve what is not right. So this is the difficulty or the danger of a sudden decision. Precipitate, we said, no? Is a sudden, without much reflection, and also reflection not only at the happening. Sometimes we say after happening or during time of happening, if you are not taken into development, process of growth, reflection, sharing and evaluation, if you are not done previously, it will not happen on the moment. So that is the psychological, is a feeling. That's why secular people, especially psychologists, so conscience they equate to superego. Superego is another, usually society's conscience, group conscience we say. Society's conscience, group conscience, or it is also represented as the parents' influence. When the child is born, most of the things are taught by the parents. And there not only things, even their behavior, their pattern also will influence the child. So the child's response will be depending on what he or she has observed. So that's why, according to Freud, conscience is superego. Superego is depending on the feelings. So if you feel okay, you do it. If you don't feel okay, you don't do it. So your feelings will guide. So that's the understanding of the psychology, especially Freud. But here there is a danger. Your feelings always not right. Our human feelings are not always right. So the mistake can happen. Good things sometimes we don't feel good about. Good things doing you may not feel good about, so you don't do it. Bad things you may attract you to, or you want to do, you repeat it or you do it. But the reality is contrary. So conscience, what we saw is conscience always supports the good. So conscience always supports the good and avoid the evil. There is a mature conscience, a clear conscience. But according to psychologists, if the superego or the feelings is the guiding principle, and that is not happening, what real conscience, mature conscience, clear conscience has to do. So as Catholic Church, as Christians, we don't take this guidance, conscience as a superego. There are different elements in the process of human growth. But that is not, we are not equating conscience as the superego. Therefore, psychological conscience in bracket superego cannot of itself provide a person with moral guidance One of the most common error and sources of confusions in talking about conscience is the different understanding by different categories of people like moral theologians and moral psychologists. Like different categories of people are like moral theologians and psychologists. But moral conscience is not superego. So we have seen when we studied psychology, id, ego and superego. There are three gradations of unconscious mind, conscious mind and this one, id. What is id? Id is the unconscious reservoir. Id is the unconscious reservoir of instinctual drives largely dominated by the pleasure principle. Second aspect of conscience is ego. Ego is the conscious structure. Ego is the conscious structure which operates on the reality principle. To mediate, to mediate the forces of id, and the demands of society So mediate the forces of id and the demands of the society. Third one, superego. Superego is the ego of another superimposed. Superego is the ego of another superimposed on our own. Comma, to serve as an internal censor. To serve as an internal censor to regulate our conduct, by using guilt as its powerful weapon. So here we see the three levels of awareness. Id is working on instincts, and mostly animal world works by it, instincts. So everything is inbuilt. When the need comes, they know what to do. They don't go to any school for learning. They have inborn ability to know the need and satiate it. That is the id, unconscious mind, is unconscious mind. Then ego is the conscious structure. The conscious structure, the physical reality. Then it works on a reality principle. First one is id, the first one is the pleasure. For id, principle works on pleasure principle. Whatever is pleasing, it will repeat, it will do. What is painful, it will avoid. Then ego is works on the reality principle. So ego stands between id and superego. So superego is a superimposed or is an internal sensor to regulate our behavior. And sometimes the guilt, feeling of guilt operates through superego. When something is done, after the effect, after the act or after the event, we get the evaluation by oneself. So if the conscience is not matured, this will be understood as the conscience. Sometimes if you don't feel guilt feeling, is okay. If you feel guilt feeling, is not okay. We will see later how this guilt feeling cannot be equated with our understanding of conscience. But the psychologists, they give as a conscience is a guilt feeling. If this feeling is there, that will regulate you, it will evaluate you, and it will guide you. That's a psychologist's understanding of conscience. But we cannot take as such our Catholic understanding of conscience. There is a lot of differences there, provided you understand in a right perspective. So here, what is superego? Superego is a feeling of guilt. The guilt feeling is equated by the psychologists as a superego. So they conclude that superego and conscience is both are same. But our Catholic understanding is not. So there is a clear difference has to be made, and we have to understand it. And most of the Catholics are well developed or matured conscience, those who have, they know the difference. We cannot depend on the psychologists. We cannot depend on the psychologists' explanation. Psychologists' explanation that moral conscience is same as superego. That moral conscience is same as superego. Conscience is more than superego. Conscience is more than superego. Our daily life experience tells that it is our self-evaluation. It is our self-evaluation after an event. In the ordinary sense, the word conscience used to point to a human experience that comes after an act has been performed. That comes after an act has been performed. They understand conscience as in inverted commas, an aspect of the human person, that is activated by certain sorts of behavior, and provides a sort of gut level evaluation, evaluation of that behavior, of that behavior. So this is called as posterior conscience. So here we understand conscience in two levels: posterior conscience and anterior conscience. Usually we have experience of a posterior conscience. What the once the act is done, its evaluation comes afterwards. That's normally that's called guilt feeling or evaluation, even right evaluation. It not be guilt feeling, even the right evaluation also after the act is done. So that is the posterior conscience. But Catholic theology, Catholic tradition is not talking about posterior conscience. After act is done, what it will be, that is we are not talking. So what Catholic tradition is talking about? Anterior conscience. Catholic tradition is particularly uses the term anterior conscience. Anterior conscience. That means before the act is done. Before the act is done. So general understanding of secular people or psychologists is after the act is done, its evaluation, that's called posterior conscience. But Catholic tradition is not speaking only of posterior conscience, but much more gives importance to anterior. Anterior means before the act is done. So posterior and anterior. Anterior means before the act is done. One is after the act is being done. So that is the difference here. So Catholic tradition gives importance to this anterior conscience. Okay, so posterior conscience describes the human experience of guilt. Posterior conscience describes the human experience of guilt. Feelings are real. Feelings are real. But we cannot exactly find out what is source of them. Feelings are very real, but we cannot exactly find out what is source for them. Most of the psychologists say that feelings of guilt are independent. Feelings of guilt are independent from human freedom, and human rationality. Human freedom and human rationality, and these are morally ambiguous. So that clear response, clear indication is anterior conscience is our self-evaluation before the undertaking of the act, and posterior is after effect of the your feelings after the act is done. So sometimes the acts may not give the feelings of guilt, feelings of okay. So that raising of the feelings is not to be considered as a conscience. So we need to have prior to that our anterior conscience as a mature conscience.